Hello and welcome to this next Lukozer retro game review video, and this time it is Predator, which was released in 1987 by Activision and was a film tie-in of the Arnie film. So we have a Commodore 64 game that's a film tie-in. So, yeah, keep your let's say your expectations at a suitable level. Now, there are actually two different versions of Predator. There is what's called the fast version and the slow version. The fast version, which is what this one is the version that was released in the UK and Europe. The slow version was released in the US. And there are several differences. Firstly, the fast version actually has music in it, and it would be playing here. It also has a bit of an animated introduction, which again would be just before this screen appears. The fast version doesn't have that. So, yeah, we're already missing a few bits. But the differences don't stop there. So let's get the game underway and see what we have. Oh yes, I forgot. The game's a multi-loader, so yeah, you have to sit and wait for each level. Now I have enabled cheat modes, and as I'm playing the game you'll see why. I've got infinite lives, so it's not like the Alien Syndrome video where everything just goes straight through me, and so it doesn't show the difficulty. I mean, Alien Syndrome has a ridiculous difficulty level. However, compared to Predator, Alien Syndrome is a fucking walk in the park. So, well, when this does eventually fucking load, we'll God damn, come on. We will get this underway at some point. I should have done all the talking over the title page right here, so then we wouldn't have had to had all this sitting and waiting lark. Right, here we go. So these lot who are running off are actually part of your squad. It doesn't follow the film very well because at the start of the game, if you press fire, right, here you go, right, they've all buggered off, and this is me. So you play Arnie, but he's on his own. The squad has already all been slaughtered. Now you only have limited ammo normally, but I've got it set to unlimited. But if you hold down fire and then move the joystick around, he will then fire in various directions. The sounds are piss poor, to put it mildly, but I think the graphics in the background are pretty good. Now, controlling Arnie is somewhat cumbersome. Obviously left and right are, pretty standard, although you can't scroll back to a section once you've gone past it. If you push up, he will jump, and he'll jump in the direction that he's facing. If you pull down, he ducks. So in order to get him to move around a diagonal, you have to be running in the direction and then move the joystick in the diagonal of up or down to move in that area. Now you can see here some examples of just how bloody difficult it is. I'm already down to the last of my energy. And it doesn't help that, your firing rate is pathetic. Almost as pathetic as the sound effects. Right, now you can switch weapons. I've dropped this one I've got. Let's pick up this new one. Looks like some sort of... And the Predator has just shot me. But yeah, this one, the only real difference is sound. Now those deadly, I don't know what they are, if they're birds or what. Yeah, they do. You do lose energy if they hit you. I find it's best just to duck under them. So here, let's switch weapons again. I don't want to pick up the same one again. I'll pick this one up. So now we have a minigun. Now you remember in the film how fast the minigun fired. Yeah, not this time it don't. It's the slowest firing minigun I've ever seen anywhere. So anyway, we carry on, and now the Predator is hunting me again. Despite being, you know, this supreme hunter, his aim is pretty bloody slow. Alright, so there we go. Croaked it that time. And again. And again. So if this was, you know, if I wasn't playing with the cheat mode, it would be game over now. So, you know, ridiculously hard difficulty. As we now approach the base, we're getting close to the end of level 1. Oh, fuck off. And the Predator is now hunting us again, but he completely ignores everybody else. He only goes after you. Alright, so there we go, and okay, we'll do these two, or at least I will if I can get in line. There we go. Alright. And we just run off the screen, and that's level 1 done. So now it's back to the multi-load again. So although it would have been game over twice during that time there, during that go, I did still make it anyway. And things really don't change in level 2. In fact, things don't really change anywhere in the game. It's just your same bog standard, you know, side-scrolling shooter with well, the person you're controlling, old Arnie, being rather difficult to actually control, using weapons that never have any difference in their firing rate, but you do have very limited ammunition. So the reason for all the extra weapons laying around is just so that you're able to actually, you know, do anything. Because otherwise you just run out of ammo. You then have to drop your weapons and resort to either punching or kicking everybody. And in this game you really don't want to do that. So the Predator is now here, and as his sights get closer to you, he starts firing. But now they buggered off. Now I missed that weapon. Here he is again. And again, he's ignoring everybody else except me. Now here we get one of the really annoying parts of the game. This is a bridge here, and you have to have pretty much pixel perfect positioning in order to get over the fucking thing. And it is a monstrous pain in the arse, so I can't even guarantee that I'm going to be able to do it, because it is just ridiculously difficult. Right, let's try and actually jump onto this fucking thing. And of course, if you're moving in a diagonal and then you change direction, well, you'll then stop moving because oh, there we go. Right, so we've actually made it onto the bridge. Can't hit the gunner here, so yeah, that's us dead again. And again. There we go. Right, we got him that time. See, I just realised, yeah, you can press space if you don't die and throw grenades, which are great if the enemies are, you know, right on the edge of the screen. Otherwise they're pretty useless. Here we go again with the old Predator coming after us. Right, now he's buggered off. Let's drop the minigun. If I press the right key, there we go. Right, minigun dropped. and let's try to pick up the Uzi. Right, so it doesn't look much like an Uzi, and it doesn't fucking fire like one either. So again, so does the game have any good points? Well, when they aren't corrupted through crashing, the backgrounds do look quite good. The main sprites, the animation on them are alright, but yeah, they don't actually look that great. Sound wise, it's an absolute dismal travesty of a game, because I mean, it's, well, you can hear there's just hardly anything of them. Still, I shall persevere. Now, I was saying that there are differences between the fast and slow versions, other than, you know, the title screen. In the slow version that was released in the US, as Predator is hunting me again. There you go. So it took him ages to sort of, you know, be able to walk over a bridge, but on finding a cliff, he quite happily jumps off the edge of it. But anyway, as I was saying, on the slow version, you don't start with any weapons at all. Or actually, you might start with a weapon, but you don't have any ammunition, so your weapon is actually useless. So yeah, that's not too great. Whereas in the fast version, of course, you can, you know, you start off with a weapon. Also, in the slow version, if you use the function keys F1, F3, F5 and F7, you can switch between weapons that you're carrying, whereas in the, well, that's in the slow version. In the fast version, the European one, you can't do that. You can only use the weapon that you've actually, you know, that you're actually holding. So, we are now, well, still waiting for level 3 to load. The multi-load, as you can see, oh, here we go, is extremely intrusive. Now if you duck down in the mud, well, it doesn't seem to do you any good, because you're supposed to then be masked from, you know, the Predator's actual sights, and he can't see you. Now, I assume this radio is necessary, so let's see if we can pick it up. Okay, well, we've got the radio, whatever it did. So let's pick up our weapon again. Didn't seem to make any difference. Okay, well, let's pick up this weapon. Looks like another Uzi. And the Predator's hunting us again, so I think that was left there as a trap. You can see that the Predator's actual sights, even though he's supposed to be an expert at trying to, you know, catch people, and yet his sights are pathetically slow, and you can easily outrun them. Now if you look just to the left there, those flashing green, I think they're meant to be the Predator's eyes. Now we have to try and get on this bridge again. Well, that one was a lot easier. Right, now here, this bloke here who looks like a deep sea diver, that's the Predator. And after all his hunting, you've hit him a few times and he buggers off, even though he was there right with you. So he had the chance to completely finish you off, and instead he just buggered off, and now he's gone back to doing his, you know, chasing after you off screen. But in this level, the only things you have to face are the Predator himself. So you can, once you've got off that bridge and everything, just keep running left to right. You can see the Predator's eyes have just gone past again. And if we duck down in the mud, we get that. Right, so we're covered in the mud again. It doesn't do anything. He can't even hide from the Predator's shots there. And that's the whole of level 3 done. So Now we're back on to, well, when it eventually loads we then go on to level 4, but I mean, level 3 is ridiculously short. And the only real challenge it offers you is, you know, fighting the predator who looks like a deep sea diver. So, yeah, level 3 is decidedly unimpressive. It's now following the film. You've done the whole, you know, clearing out the terrorist camp or whatever the hell they were meant to be. It's been a long time since I've seen the film, very much intentionally. And but yeah, now we're into the section where it's just you against the predator, which means you spend an awful lot of time in levels 3 and 4, or you've already seen in 3, running around doing pretty much bugger all. You don't really need your weapons now, because if you are holding a weapon and you come up against the predator, he'll use his laser, and no matter how many energy bars you have, as indicated by those 6 blips there, the 6 now blue screens, that's your energy bar. When they all go blue, the next hit will kill you. But as you can see there, if you have a weapon, he fires his laser and kills you instantly. So what you have to do is drop your weapon and just go like head to head, you know, combat against him now. So your weapons are now useless, so there's no point carrying them. Now supposedly somewhere around here we go, so right, so he's now buggered off because I got a few punches and kicks on him. But supposedly somewhere around there was a bow and arrow which you could use, but again that's supposedly quite useless. So again I got a couple of kicks, jumped past him, which I didn't intend to do. I was meant to try and punch him. There's more of the deadly birds come along. But yeah, I was supposed to be trying to punch him, and instead I ended up jumping and he buggered off as a result. So again, he, you know, trying to hunt me off screen, and again running off past him is absolute doddle. Now, here we get to the end. This is this is essentially the final screen. And because I have no weapon, it means that he's not going to, you know, be just like blasting me every fucking time. But it does also mean that he's just, you know, going to finish me off some other way instead. But right, now that we are here, I can tell you another difference between this and the this fast version for the European release, and the slow version which was released in the US. And that difference is, the US version you can complete the game, the UK and European one you can't. And yes, you did hear that right, you cannot get any further than this in the European version, because you're supposed to be able to grab hold of these ropes which you can just make out in the background, and use them to move this tree stump here, because of course in the film, you know, he defeats him by use of the tree stump, and you use that to you know, kill the predator. But in the fast version for you know, the US or no, for the European release, that doesn't work, so you can't do it. Okay, so we can still use our You can still use the old grenades, but I mean they're no fucking use to you, you know, because you can't actually do anything with them. But yeah, we can't do anything with the ropes in the background, so you can't grab hold of them. You cannot do a fucking thing. So instead, old Predator, you know, Mr. Deep Sea Diver Man, just constantly keeps running on, beating the shit out of you. Then if you get a few hits, he runs off, and that's it. That's all you can do, because you cannot complete this game with the UK and European release. So if the game wasn't bollocks enough, that really is taking the piss. So how do I rate it? Well, the backgrounds, when they don't get all you know, fucked up from you know, from any sort of bugs or anything, I think look alright. The animations on the sprites, yeah, the animations are okay, but the actual sprites themselves look a bit shit. Not least on the Predator Deep Sea Diver bloke. The sound is absolute shite from start to finish. I mean, there's fucking hardly any at all. What there are is just bollocks. Gameplay wise, it's unbearably shallow. I mean, and it's not helped by the fact that your Arnie character is so fucking difficult to control that it's, you know, it just makes the game fucking frustrating beyond belief. And you've seen how many lives I've lost here, so you imagine, you know, what it would be like trying to play it without a fucking cheat mode. And then the final insult is that, you know, if you bought this in the UK or Europe, it is impossible to finish. You cannot finish the game at all. And believe it or not, this game, and this is really starting to become a bit of a theme, this game scored monumentally high in Zap 64. It got at least 90%. It was somewhere around 90, 91, 92. It definitely got a Sizzler rating. Why? It's fucking... Okay, yeah, it looks good in parts, but other than that, it's bollocks. And like all, you know, film and television tie-ins, it's just... And yet Zap rated it and said it was fucking great. It's not fucking great, it's fucking bullshit. So I will give it... I'll give it 2 out of 10 because, say, the backgrounds look pretty good and the animations on the sprites are pretty good, but they are the only things about it that are any good. Everything else about it is just bollocks. And I say the ending, or the fact that you can't end it, is the final insult. So there you go. That's Predator for the Commodore 64. Specifically the UK European version. Fucking contemptible. So that brings this video to an end, and if we can make him bugger off again, that's this one done, and we'll see you at the next video.